I've noticed it. You've probably noticed it. I'm sure you're feeling it. People are freaking out, not just about real estate, but about everything. And you have to wear this for your clients. So let's just get right into it. What are the next 18 to 24 months going to look like? You've probably noticed interest rates are at their worst level of the year so far. Yes, I said so far. They could actually get a little higher. There's actually been a huge paradigm shift in the last couple weeks. Even just a few months ago, people were predicting, I was telling you, that we would likely see the Fed cut interest rates. Economists, the Fed futures market, everybody was pretty confident that if not at the end of this year, then definitely next year, there would be a rate cut. Now, there are very few economists coming out saying anything with that kind of language in it, and the Fed futures market is singing a completely different song. Why? Well, let's look at what the Fed does, right? They have a dual mandate. They literally only focus on two things, inflation and unemployment. Right now, inflation is still high and unemployment is still low. So the only tool the Fed has is monetary policy, which means raising and lowering interest rates. And they're sitting here looking at inflation that they still want to come down and have said they will do so at any cost. Meanwhile, in their other hand, they've got employment that still looks great. It looks nice and strong. So it gives them free rein to keep tackling and going towards their goal here on inflation while believing that they're not hurting the economy too bad because people can still go out and find jobs. We did get the PCE numbers in today, and they showed that inflation took a baby step in the right direction. Headline inflation came down 0.4%. So let's move in to what you and your clients should be doing right now. Pay attention to new builds. This is a big game in town, and I don't love telling you about it because if you go into Lennar and Toll Brothers, or D.R. Horton, you're gonna work with the lender that they own, right? And while that's not only usually not the most experienced or what you would call a trusted advisor as a loan officer, it's also not me, which sucks. But I'm here to tell it to you straight always. And the truth is that new construction is a big opportunity for buyers in this market. Those builders need to move inventory regardless of interest rates. Actually, they need to move it because of interest rates, the interest rates on their construction loans. So they're offering amazing incentives right now in terms of upgrades and financing. Even the project that I'm involved in, Silvercrest in Carson City, you should definitely check that one out. We're putting together some really attractive offers for buyers that we'll start marketing in the next few weeks. So it's an all-around win if you're looking to purchase a home while prices are what they are, and a really good deal can be negotiated on new builds. And if you aren't sure if the builder's lender is being really upfront and properly explaining the credit and what costs, or if they're trying to make their fees eat up the credit that was advertised, if you want to make sure that your buyer's truly getting the benefit of what was marketed, our team is happy to look at the fee sheet for you, and we'll tell it to you straight, even if it's not in our benefit. Another thing to do is pay attention to access to capital over the next few months. It could get ugly. We're seeing banks pull back on offering HELOCs, and credit card interest rates are going up at the same time that the debt on them is going up. What's about to happen with commercial lending is also a problem and could cause the banks to tighten up in other areas. If you aren't up to speed on what's happening there, let me bring you there quickly. Commercial loans are usually given in a time for a 5-year fixed period. And then at the end of the 5 years, the rate adjusts and the building owner has to either refinance or accept the current market rate. There are a lot of commercial investors out there with big loans on big buildings. And those loans were taken out at 2 or 3% interest. In the next 12 months, we'll see a lot of them finish that 5-year period that was fixed and adjust to the current market rate, which is almost triple. And by then could be more than triple. So the debt will have to be re-amortized and you're going to have a payment that's significantly higher. What does that mean? Well, the building owner might translate that down to higher rents for the businesses that are their tenants. Then that business could translate the higher rent they're paying into higher costs for their consumers, you and me. Whether that's a coffee shop and the price of the latte goes up, or whether that's a workout studio and your membership increases. If their rent has just gone up quite a bit, they've got to make up the cost somewhere. Or will the building owner try to sell the building because it's not cash flowing anymore? Worst case, if they can't sell it, will they foreclose because it's vacant and they can't afford triple the monthly payment on their debt. If banks have a bunch of bad debt on their books in terms of commercial loans, those are not small loan sizes either. They're going to have their ability to lend in other sectors be impacted. And so this is something really important to watch because, as I just mentioned, the effects could be widespread on the economy. It filters out in a lot of different ways, and it could lead us to a liquidity crisis of sorts. The other thing to be paying attention to, whether you're watching this for yourself personally or whether you want to advise your clients who are active in the real estate market or anywhere, cash is not trash anymore. While you were waiting for interest rates to hit their sweet spot for you to be able to buy, and if you don't know what I mean by sweet spot, I'm not telling you to wait for interest rates to come down. I'm telling you to pay attention to where interest rates need to be for you or your buyer to be able to afford a home. Reference a previous blog or previous episode of Mind Over Markets and you'll see what I'm talking about. But you can also be taking advantage of these rates while they're higher. The money that's been set aside for down payments should be in a high yield savings account. Or you can even tie it up in a 3-month CD and get 5.5% interest on that right now. That's wild. That's where higher interest rates work in our favor. So your money can make you some money while you watch for the right opportunity to buy. And these are messages you got to be telling your clients right now so that they know you're here to advise them, not just on when to buy and sell, but on the economy and what's best for their finances on the whole.